Today on the 50-pound brain, we fix Higgins' gas gauge. It is now accurate. We know how much gas he has now, which is a beautiful thing. And we put in a couple of pieces of carpet and the fuel tank cover. Normally I do this at the end of the video, but I'm going to do it at the beginning this time. Hairstyles on the 50-pound brain channel are accomplished by JC, who is now at Undisputed Barbershop. She was at Supercuts. She has moved, but she said she will still honor the 50-pound brain discount to anyone that asks, but you have to come to Undisputed Barbershop now. So let's get to work. We're going to try and change our fuel level sending unit, because no matter how much gas is in this thing, it never gets more than a half a tank. And I know the gauge works from full to empty, because right now disconnected it goes to full, and then if I hook this up, I just filled it up the other day, it goes right to a half a tank. Now if I were to run this out of gas, I'm sure, well, I can't say, I'm going to assume it would show empty, but it may not. So we've ordered a new one from Moss Motors, but the first thing we're going to do is hook this up electrically and make sure that this range is the range of the gauge, make sure all that jives. So let's do that. Just hold these together, ground the housing out, just run this through its paces. It looks good. The little squiggles is me making and losing my ground. So I suspect what's going to be a problem is, let me show you, is getting that thing out. Hopefully there's no obstructions here to where we can get this to the bottom of this and then be able to move it over and pull it out. But we're gonna see. So I think this one should be okay. The distance from here to here, you know, we get this snaked into the tank, and then it all looks okay. It's, you know, it's one of those, looks good on paper. We'll see how, when it actually comes down to installing it, see how this goes. So let's go pull the old one. Okay, so get these off. But I'm sure if there's going to be a problem, it's going to be with these two screws here, because yeah, that's what I thought. Even the stubby is too tall. Yeah, let me go get a long screwdriver. Now let's get these out first. Now the moment of truth. Yep, beautiful. It is a commercial gasket. I don't know why it's not floating, but this is awful heavy. So, oh well, let's see. All right, let's see if we can get this thing in here unscathed. Oh yes, very nice. Now I'm going to show you. I'm putting socket head cap screws in here, which goes against everything I believe in. However, there's a time and a place for these, and those two positions is that time and place. Now, okay. Oh, good. I was scared. It's like, oh, this is a different bolt pattern, but it's not. Get this hole sealed up before I attempt the back two. Don't tighten them all the way down before we get them all started. But we do get stuff in place so we have nothing fall in the tank. Next thing I'm going to have to do is change these rings over to the 1/4 inch tabs. That's easy to do. You've seen me do terminals before, so I won't show you that. I got everything captured with a magnet so hardware doesn't start heading everywhere on me. See if this ball Allen will do its thing. Nope, too wicked of an angle. That's why I brought out this and the ratchet. Throw this magnet on here and hopefully that'll hold. That's the only bad side. I'm just going to attract it to the car. Oh wow, this is too tall too. Okay. We don't have in the 50-pound brain lab, and that is a ratcheting 1/4 inch box end wrench, so we're just having to make our own here with the, oh yeah, with the old magnet. This is good times. Gosh, these magnets are too strong. All right, let's see if I can put it on the shank here, if that'll be enough. Nope. Okay. Now, let's see what we can put in with our fingers. It's because it's threading into this. This is a similar gasket. Neoprene, I don't know, unobtainium, whatever this stuff is, but it has to thread through the holes and then into the, my gasket just started rolling across the parking lot. All right, you got to do this the old school way. All right, so we got her done. Bend that down a little bit. And one thing I was saying, the camera shut off when I was installing this because it got too hot. But the beauty of this sending unit is it's got this flange that's down. It kind of captures the gasket, and you can torque this as much as you want. It's only going to go until this thing hits the tank, and it keeps you from over torquing the gasket and extruding it out. So that's a beautiful thing. And we are at slightly above half a tank. So I think that's accurate. I need to go fill it up and see. So next trip will be to the Maverick. All right, in other news, we put some more interior pieces in. Put this carpet in, this piece of carpet in, carpet around the shifter in, gas tank cover in. We put in because looky there, our gas gauge works. I just went and filled it up this morning to see if it did, and it does. So that's a beautiful thing. We put in trunk floor, and I don't know if you heard that, this edge of the trunk lid catches on this lip right here and pops. And I guess what I'm going to have to do is shim up this side of the hinge to lift the leading edge of the boot cover, I don't know what they call it, to try and miss this edge, because I don't know if you can see it. It's quite a bit below it. I tried putting some wood pieces in here and closing the trunk lid down on it to try and bend this up and put a little bit more of a bow in it so it matched the body line a little better, but the structure inside the trunk lid prevented that from happening. So I guess my only other option is to shim these up. Now the beauty of these hinges for this trunk is that with these rivet heads, that tells you these are the OEM hinges. The repros don't have that rivet, and these are cast out of pot metal, zinc something or another, and you can't really get on the mount studs very well because it'll just pull out. See, these are a little bit meatier, these hinges, the original hinges, and so I can unbolt under here and on that side add some more gaskets under it to raise it up and hopefully eliminate, mitigate this interference somehow. But Higgins is looking good, still super fun to drive. I need to do the rest of these rails. They're done like the dash rail video and the door tops, so that way the whole cockpit will be wrapped properly for the tonneau cover. That's really a tonneau cover rail back here. This is just a good armrest on here, but I bet I put the black vinyl on there, it's gonna get smoking hot. So I've also got the door panel material that goes here that's already cut to shape for those. I need to put those on. I need to figure out from the carpet kit what piece or pieces go there. It's not readily apparent. I've kind of figured out what goes in front of the shifter piece there, and the firewalls I do have figured out. I just haven't mounted them. So yeah, but that doesn't keep him from being driven. So he's so much fun to drive. Thank you, Fred. Well, I hope these videos are helpful to somebody, especially dealing with the fuel tank sender. And then the rest of the stuff we showed was just gee whiz info. There was nothing too technical about putting carpet in. So once again, thank you, Fred, for giving me the opportunity with Higgins to bring him back to life. And I hope you're enjoying the video. I hope everyone that watches enjoys the videos. So thanks for watching.